Good evening, guys and ghouls. Welcome to my channel, Haunting Girl Alaska. I am your host, Elvira, Princess of the Dark. Tonight, I will be sharing with you stories of mystery, woe, and terror. So grab your loved ones and hold them tight. It's about to be a hell of a fright.
In many ways, Whittier, that dot of a town on the western edge of Prince William Sound, is not for the faint of heart. Even getting to Whittier is ominous. The palpitations start before you get there, driving through that 2.5-mile-long tunnel, the one carved into a mountain, signs warn of avalanches. Eventually, you'll see the light at the end of the tunnel, reminding you of stories about those who have briefly visited the afterlife. When you reach the light, however, it's pretty clear that the angels have ceded, for the time being, at least, the town to another kind of army. Perhaps that's what makes Whittier the strangest, most haunted town in Alaska. Whittier residents live with constant reminders of that army. First, and most obvious, there's the Buckner Building, hanging over the town like the ghost of an old warrior. The Buckner Building was named after such a warrior, General Simon Buckner, who died after commanding the defenses of Alaska early in the Second World War. He was then sent to the Pacific Theater and died during the closing days of the Battle of Okinawa, the highest-ranking U.S. military officer to have been killed at the hands of the enemy during World War II. Buckner was tough, and so is his building, completed in 1953 at the height of the Cold War. The mammoth, sturdy structure was intended to withstand bombs and keep as many as 1,000 soldiers safe if a Cold War army invaded. It had in it a movie theater, a bowling alley, a jail even. Tunnels led from the building to other parts of the town. It was one of the most spectacular buildings the military ever built in Alaska, and the largest at the time. But then, as things go, the military pulled out and left the building to the spirits, many of whom were skilled at graffiti. One of them likes the movie The Shining, displaying this fondness by painting the word "Red Rum" lovingly on one of its walls. "It's fitting," said Ted Spencer, who lives in San Diego but is curator of the Whittier Museum, one of the best museums in Alaska. Once, while exploring the building, he entered a room too dark to tell what it was. Finally, after the sun moved and his eyes adjusted, he realized that he was standing on the stage of a 300-person auditorium. It was, in a word, spooky. A feeling heightened often by the strange noises in the building. Animals scurrying, wind whistling through open windows. Once Spencer even heard water running down a pipe that was crashing onto the floor. Who turned on the spigot? He still doesn't know. The spookiness and the noise may have lured some spirits to the comfort of the living. The Baggage Towers, commonly known as BTI, is the place where nearly all 160 Whittier residents live today. Stories of bumps in the night and phantom noises abound. One of the ghouls who inhabit the building is apparently fond of whistling. Another has a particularly heavy step. Up and down the corridors of the 14-story tower ghost trudge. One of them is hungry. He or she once rattled around in the kitchen of the city manager, Bob Prunella. By all accounts, a rational man. He went as far as to reach for his gun before he realized it was just a ghost. Diana Barnes, the executive assistant for the city, says she has some stories she won't talk about because they're too scary. Mostly, though, the ghosts are benign. Residents know that they share the tower with the other side, but they just live with it. They haven't hurt anybody, Barnes said.
Yet. Our next ghostly tale takes us to the Wendy Williams Auditorium located in UAA.
The title of this story is Feels Like Teen Spirit and Other Phantoms in UAA's Wendy Williamson Auditorium. Visitors from a nearby psychiatric ward and youth correctional facility aren't the only uninvited guests to spook a bizarrely built Anchorage auditorium. Multiple ghouls, including some that don't respect personal space, are said to stalk the Wendy Williamson Auditorium at the University of Alaska, Anchorage. Props have flown off furniture, stage lights have exploded, inexplicable shadows have slid across walls, and the occasional patter of ghostly footfalls have creeped out the living. According to a report in the university newspaper, one might wonder whether Hollywood magic was at work. On 3 different occasions, women have tried opening the door to exit the handicapped bathroom, only to find that someone will vigorously shut it from the other side, said the reporter, Renee Dillard, after talking with auditorium personnel. The poltergeists apparently include a man, woman, kids, and a teen boy. A psychic once said the spirit's teen body was killed in a nearby car crash. Rumor suggests these chain shakers might be ghouling around with the earth-trapped soul of late university professor John Wendell Wendy Williamson. Paranormal activity surfaces throughout the auditorium, which saw its building plans change midway through construction, leaving it with a useless catwalk, elevator shaft, and other curious features. The ghosts apparently get aggressive in the foyer, targeting female brunettes. Women with long brown hair have often felt themselves being pushed down the stairs on the lobby's left stairway. Music also plays by itself on the lobby piano, and reflections that are unaccounted for sometimes appear in the doors of the entrance, the paper reported. Visitors looking for an out-of-body experience won't get one. Most people have come here and said they wanted an experience, don't get it. Auditorium staffer Shane Mitchell says in the story,
It always happens when you're not suspecting something or when you're not wanting something to happen. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Again, this is Elvira, Princess of the Dark, and I'll see you next year.